Hey Dan, good morning and welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here. Friends, I hope you guys are doing well. And as we kick off the final week of February, the primary driver for today's price action is the formal implementation of a new 10% across the board global tariff by the US administration. This move comes as a rapid response to invalidate the previous reciprocal tariff framework. Now, US equity futures are holding largely flat. Let me go to the futures section and just show it to you. They were positive, then they went negative, and they went positive again. That's why in my pre-market commentary also in my Substack, I mentioned that the futures were tentative. So that's what it looks like. It's gone to negative now for the S&P 500 futures. Now, even though early trade in the European markets opened lower as global investor weighed inflationary impact of these new trade barriers, it's not clear where S&P 500 and NASDAQ are likely to go. The dollar index is holding firm, but gold has given up a little bit of its gains from the 5,200 level. Pre-market, gold was looking much stronger. Now it's looking a bit weaker, maybe a buying opportunity. We'll check that out. Market volatility is on the rise, reflected in a risk-off posture across several asset classes. We have seen several high-profile IPOs, including Clear Street, pulled or delayed this month due to valuation scrutiny and unsuitable market conditions. This defensive sentiment is particularly evident in the tech sector, where stocks in the software segment have faced significant selling pressure or concerns regarding AI-driven economic displacement and shifting trade policies. IBM also suffered because of AI from, I think, Anthropic, which could do COBOL programming. So that's a very rare skill and expensive skill. So that's another big news. IBM had a huge drop yesterday. Also, we have to remember that private equity is having a tough time, and it is reported that many big banks, in order to keep risks off their books, they have used these private equity firms as proxies. And those private equity firms, if they go under, then that's definitely going to impact these banks. So one has to be careful. In the bond market, the US 10-year Treasury yield is hovering around 4.04%, rebounding slightly from a 3-month low reached yesterday. And investors are caught between a flight to safety, which usually pushes yields down, and fears that new tariff will reignite inflation. Here you can see the 10-year yield. We had a reverse head and shoulder pattern, which was supposed to take us to high inflation. But you can see here that we are forming successive bear flags and coming down. This is good for the real estate business, but overall, I think it shows a flight away from the stock market is long overdue. So we got to keep that in mind. And I think meanwhile in Japan, the economy remains in a delicate spot. Trade Minister Ryosei Akazawa, I hope I have pronounced it right, has been in emergency talks with US officials to ensure Japan isn't treated less favorably under the new 10% levy, despite Tokyo's existing $550 billion investment pledge. And in the commodities and crypto area, crypto are feeling the heat of this uncertainty. Gold remains a preferred asset. Let us quickly have a look at gold. It's looking like a strong chart. 3-4 days of gains and a little bit of a loss out here. Maybe a bit of profit taking or whatever. It's not looking that weak. But if we were to go and have a look at Bitcoin, you will see a lot of weakness in Bitcoin. Bitcoin is continuing to go down. This was the pennant that I was very confused about, whether it was a bullish pennant or a bearish. Turns out that it was bearish, and it has moved downwards. So our target is 49,219 or 49,400, let us say, to be on the conservative side, with the support coming somewhere around 55,025. And earlier we had another bear flag, which gave us a target of 55,813.04. So right now, I would like to go with 55,000 as the target, 55,900. So let us say 55,500 is a conservative target for Bitcoin. Right now we are at 62,000. So there is around 7,000 more to drop. I am into MSTZ, which I'm writing down, and it's doing pretty well. All my other short bets are also coming out properly. So I'm a little happy about that. After a long time, I'm getting a little bit of respite. And I think despite a firmer dollar, gold is doing pretty okay as geopolitical risks and trade wars dominate the narrative. Gold will definitely have currency, so I'm not too much worried about the drop we had right now. Patterns, chart pattern wise, also I don't see anything bad with gold at this point of time. Let's just go back into gold. Let's look at. Just give me 1 second. Just look at gold and see. Okay, market sentiment is bullish. MACD is also bullish. Momentum is above average. So yeah, there is nothing too bad about gold right now. So with that said, I would say that Bitcoin has slipped roughly 2% today to trade near 63,300. The extreme fear reading in crypto sentiment underscores a broader hesitation among retail investors as the US dollar regains strength and investors rotate towards traditional defensive assets. Now, when it comes to US dollar and the US bonds, it is said that it's the least dirty among all the dirty shirts. But there is going to be some point of time when the dollar or the US becomes sufficiently dirty so that it's comparable to other dirty shirts. I think we are coming closer to that point. Right now, gold is number one in central bank reserves, and it has pushed US dollars and treasuries to number two. And that's, I think, the first starting point. Subsequently, we'll find other currencies or other combination or baskets of currencies taking hold. So that's the direction we are going, because the 38 trillion debt is only increasing. And there is no meaningful or seriousness in the approach of the US government. And the Federal Reserve, which is the only responsible adult in the room, or so it seems, relative to everything else, is also being put into a lot of stress. So if the monetary policy is crazy and unpredictable, it's going to be very difficult if the fiscal policy is crazy and unpredictable, then it's very difficult for the monetary policy, which is wielded by the Federal Reserve, to do much good, because they're also going to be as confused as everybody else as to what's going to happen next. So that is a big problem. For example, what Donald Trump had said was that he didn't like the way the Swiss premier spoke to him, and therefore he put taxes on them. That was one thing. And then he has done similar things with other countries as well, saying that if you deal with so-and-so, then I'm going to put tariffs on you. So that's not the way to yield the fiscal policy, and that to authorities that the president doesn't have. So we are in a very difficult situation. The midterms may probably give some relief. At that time, the US dollar and others can rebound. So watch this very carefully. US is still a very strong player with a very deep market. So that's something that we as retail investors can't move away from. But at the same time, especially foreign investors have to be very careful, because we have exchange risk on top of all of these things. So one has to be careful. That said, let's go on and start looking at what's happening with our various Hot Dog is saying Beam beat earnings by quite a bit. Yay! That's good news, Hot Dog. Thanks for joining. Let's go on to have a look at our futures. Let's start off with S&P 500. Let's look at S&P 500 futures. We have a reverse head and shoulder. We have a neckline. We are proceeding towards the neckline. We are below what was a support at 6,859. Let me make this a little thicker for you guys to see. I hope you are able to see it. I'm going to mark that red because we are opened above but went below, and our support now is the 100-day exponential at 6,814, which is this line out here, the lavender line that you see. That is the support. Market sentiment bearish, MACD bearish, momentum bearish. Elsewhere, in another channel that I follow, because that's a technical analysis channel, they have already declared that the neckline has been breached for the head and shoulder. But I don't know, in their chart, I can see clearly that S&P 500 head and shoulder has been breached. Mine doesn't show that as yet. My head and shoulder neckline is out here, and that has not been breached. So I think I'll hold on, but some other charting experts are already saying that we have breached the head and shoulder pattern, so we are going to go down. We'll wait and see what happens. Let's look at NASDAQ. NASDAQ is also down. It's come down from this head and shoulder pattern. It has created some kind of bull flag, and I believe the bear flag, and I believe it has broken down from the bear flag. This is the flagpole, and it has broken down from the bear flag. But this morning, we are seeing a modest gain of 0.27%. Whether it will persist when the market opens, that is the question. So we'll wait and watch what happens out here, because the market sentiment is bearish. MACD is bearish, and momentum is below average. So I won't take this to the bank yet. I'll wait for the market open. Anyway, the resistance is going to be the 100-day exponential at 25,065, and support is going to be 24,445, which is the green line that we see out here. That said, dollar index is looking pretty decent. It's firmed up a little bit, and that has reflected in gold. Gold has gone down because gold is valued in dollars. But I'm not too much worried about gold at this point of time, because, as I said, it's still, the chart is not looking bearish to me. Everything is looking decent for gold, so I'll hold on to that. Next, let us go on and have a look at AI. And we have NVDA, which is down 0.79%. I would attribute that to jitters before earnings. Earnings are coming tomorrow. That is the 25th, after hours. So there is a doji candle out here from yesterday. Today also, I suspect we'll form a doji candle, and probably we'll get support at 187.67. We are at 190 right now. In the pre-market session, down 0.77%. This is pretty decent at this point of time, and 187.69 should be a good support. Next, we go on to Google, which is up 0.13% in pre-market trades. And we are looking at a bear flag out here, in my opinion, and we'll wait and see what happens to this bear flag. Right now, we have resistance from the 50-day exponential at 315.74. And in the pre-market session, we are at 311.96. We are up 0.09% in pre-market. Our support is going to come from 297.06, which is this lavender line that you see here. It's the 100-day exponential. Let's look at Meta. Meta is down 0.41% in pre-market trades. Our earlier support at 636.48 has now become a resistance for us, because we have opened below that. And therefore, I think our next support is most likely to be in the region of 629.27 and all the way up to, I would say, 626. So 626 to 627 is going to be a range of support for Meta today. Market sentiment bearish, MACD bearish, momentum below average, not looking great. Microsoft is up 0.04% in pre-market trade. I personally think it's in a bear channel. It is on the way to 338 or 337. That's what we are looking at. Amazon is down 0.01% in pre-market trades. We have a bear flag, and the bear flag is kind of morphing into a cup and handle kind of a situation. I would like to see a few more candles come up and then decide what is happening out there. But if we were to follow the bear flag, and the breakout should take us to 170.51. I don't think that is happening right now, but we'll see as we get more candles. AMD is up 8.95% this morning. This is looking absolutely amazing. Yesterday, I sold off my AMDL and booked the loss, and today it has jumped 8.93%. Talk about timing, right? So this is crazy. But 100-day exponential at 211.61 is a support, and our resistance is at 218.15. Meta has signed a 5-year deal to buy AMD's MI450 chips for its data centers, starting with 1 gigawatt this year and totaling 6 gigawatts with delivery in late 2026. And that is what is driving this enthusiasm for AMD. Next, let's look at Apple, which is up 0.43% in pre-market trades. It will get initial support at 264.86, and it's most likely to get a resistance at around 269.91. Tesla is down 0.39% in pre-market trades, and the 200-day exponential at 394.89. This wavy red line is going to be the support for it, and I think our resistance is going to be today at around 410.76. It's this diagonal line of resistance, which is a variable line of resistance. SMCI is up 1.17%, but it will get resistance from the 50-day at 32.41. And the support is initially coming somewhere around $30. And ultimately, the support is going to rest at 29.87. Palantir is down 1.57% in pre-market trades, and it's going to get support at 124.36. Tempus AI is down 0.37% in pre-market trades. Support is available at 55.92, resistance at 59.39. Then I look at SoFi because I have that in my portfolio going down further, 0.88. So the next support that it had is also breached. I had a very terrible miscalculation with SoFi, and I'm paying for it. Everything is looking absolutely bearish. I would anticipate a dead cat bounce. And then we're looking at Oracle, which is down 0.50% in pre-market trades. Definitely support at 139.89. Right now we are at 140.61. It's not looking very good for Oracle. SMH is up 1.15%, and this diagonal line of resistance becomes diagonal line of support. We are actually not respecting this line of resistance and support. We are actually traveling all over it and traveling on it. And for today, it's going to provide support at 414.41. That said, let's look at what else do we have here? Okay, let's go to Genomics. Pfizer is up 0.07%. Finally, a little bit of positive after yesterday. We got a gain of 1.54%, a little bit of life being breathed into the stock. But what I'm wary about is a potential inverse head and shoulder, inverse cup and handle pattern forming out here. So I'll be carefully watching this. I'm not selling it anytime soon. It's a long-term holding. Prime is down 0.60%. Then we have Intelia, which is up 0.15%. It's going to get support from the 200-day exponential at 12.56. We have Caribou Biosciences, which is down 0.52%, not looking great at this point of time. But we have support, which is at 1.84. I'm going to mark this green. So 1.84 is going to give us a support. Earlier, we had plotted a double bottom target of 1.92. We have already achieved that target. So we are waiting for new patterns to form out here. So I'm going to remove this chart pattern from here because it's already been taken care of and it has expired. So this is the status with Caribou. Beam. Hot Dog says there has been fantastic earnings beat for Beam, and you can see 8.37% gain for Beam. So those of you who had Beam, congratulations to you. Earnings has been beaten by 348.45%. There was a estimate of negative earnings. They came up with positive earnings. This is amazing. And then the revenue, which was expected at 11.79 million, ended up being reported at 114.11 million. That is a 102.32 million surprise, or 868% outperformance. Guys, this is phenomenal. Nobody expected this. So this is what I think is characteristic of Genomics. It is a blowout earning, and that's going to be seen today in a lot of gains for the stock. And after the gains happen, there will be some profit taking. So I don't think the gains are over yet. There is a lot more for it to go up before it comes down. We'll see what happens when the market opens, but also we have to be cognizant of the fact that we could have a head and shoulder pattern formation if we go up and then come down. So that will have a neckline. We'll draw all of those things later. But for right now, I think you should enjoy the little success that we have had. Autoimmune is up 0.44% in pre-market trades, somehow managing to bounce back up above the resistance and converting it into a support at 4.40. Today we are at 4.54. Our immediate resistance is the 100-day exponential at 4.56. Editas is up 0.53% in pre-market trade. The diagonal line of resistance is now converted into support. And today we want to confirm this as a support. For that, we'll have to close above 1.91. Can we do that? That is the question. And we have a market sentiment bullish, MACD bullish, and momentum struggling to get above average. It is just slightly below average. So let us see what happens today. Illumina is down 0.33% in pre-market trades, doing a lot of consolidation out here. But in my books, we are looking at a target of 89.85 because we are on a bear flag. CRISPR Therapeutics is up 0.41% in pre-market trade, and it has got support at 53. Let's open this up. At 53.21, which is the ultimate support for today. And on the way to that 53.21, it will get support from the 50-day and the 100-day exponential, which are at 53.70 and 53.97 respectively. Resistance comes from the 100-day exponential at 54.80. So 54.80, the 100-day exponential is the resistance, and the support is from 50-day and 200-day exponential at 53.7 and 53.97 respectively. That is this red and the yellow line. Next, let us look at GRAIL. GRAIL is down 1.63% in pre-market trade. This is a big bear flag that is forming out here, and earnings have come out very well for GRAIL. They have beaten the earnings, but the fact that they had setback with FDA, I think was it FDA or in Britain, they had a setback for their Gallery blood test, and that's what caused this precipitous fall. So we'll see how it proceeds further, where it stops. In terms of places where it could potentially halt, let us try to see if we can get some support levels. This is a place where there is a lot of consolidation. So potentially we could get some support at around 39.51, and our immediate resistance is at 44.95. I'm going to mark that red. Next, we have PACB, which is up 0.63%. It's definitely getting resistance at 1.71, which is the neckline for this double top, which gives us a target of 1.10. So I believe that we are on the way to 1.10. This is just a bear flag or bearish pennant for me. That's my thought process. I'd like to hear from you guys. ARCG is up 0.49%. Resistance is going to be the 100-day exponential at 29.42. Support is at 28.10. That's the range in which it's going to move. Market sentiment bearish, MACD neutral. Momentum is below average. Vertex is up 0.08%. But if the overall market goes down, I think Vertex is also likely to go down. Diagonal line of resistance provides resistance at 492.41. And then we have Ginkgo Bioworks, which is up 1.58%, but very strong resistance at 9.37, which is a conjunction of a horizontal line of resistance as well as the 50-day exponential moving average. Right now, we are at $9. In the pre-market session, we are up 1.58%, but that's about it. And then we should see the beginning of a head and shoulder out here, so that should be something we have to be cautious about. Precision is up 1.23%. Pre-market trades, 100-day exponential at 4.08 is the support, and 50-day exponential at 4.42 is the resistance. Eli Lilly is down 1.97% this morning. It's going to get strong support from the 50-day exponential at 1030.52. Let's look at Ultragenyx. Ultragenyx is up 1.47% in pre-market trades. What is happening with Ultragenyx? Well, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what's happening here. The diagonal line of resistance will provide resistance today at 24.13. That said, I want to have a quick look at Rocket, which is positive. United Health, this is where I was thinking of a reverse head and shoulder. That pattern, I think, is continuing to form. I would like to wait and watch for a few more candles. either it becomes a reverse head and shoulder, or I would see it as a bull flag until it proves otherwise. And if it proves otherwise, then we have a target of 222.40. Team. Wow. Yeah. Team continues to fall. It's down 68. It's down 0.09% to 68.75. There is no end to this downfall. I am not seeing any new patterns emerging to give us any direction. So the overall chart looks very weak. We have fallen below the RSI support line also. So dead cat bounce is imminent for today. In my opinion, we have to see a dead cat bounce. Next, I would like to go to currencies. I would like to show you the Bitcoin. This section, I was not sure yesterday whether it was a bullish pennant or a bearish pennant. It seems to have been a bearish pennant. In any case, even if it was a bullish pennant, it has broken down on the downside. So we are looking at a target of 49,380.09. This is the worst case scenario. And a reasonable scenario is going to be 55,691, which is the target from a previous, let me just undo this. From a previous bear flag that we had. I think that's the target we had. So I would look at a target of around 55,752.05 for Bitcoin. That said, I am into MSTZ, which is a short for MicroStrategies, and that is doing pretty well. And I'm also into FNGD, which is doing pretty well. Let us go and have a look at what FNGD is doing this morning. Is it negative or positive? It's up 0.81%. So it has started steadily moving. The turning point seemed to be somewhere around 31st of October 2025. After that, it has started steadily moving upward. The characteristic of FNGD is that when it starts moving up, as it gathers momentum, it becomes bigger and bigger, and it has greater movements as a percentage. So I'm glad that I had held it, but I'm not yet dollar cost averaging. We'll wait a little more to see this stabilize. Let us look at MP also to see if there is any opportunity. MP is back into this diagonal line of support, and within this pennant, the squeeze that is coming in here. I'll still wait and watch. I'm not very sure about MP. So that's about it, friends. That's all I have for today. And I'll catch up with you again in the next video. Till then, have a great day and bye for now.